And so I have to begin today with this insane poster that Andrew Cuomo put out. Now, imagine if President Trump put out a poster showing the curve for COVID in the United States, the number of COVID deaths in the United States, which has declined by some 30 to 40% in the United States over the period of time, actually more than that, about 60% since the height of COVID. Okay, imagine that Trump had put out a poster championing himself, championing his own performance during COVID-19. That's exactly what Andrew Cuomo did. And we are being told that this guy is the epitome of American leadership. And so I need to talk to you about this poster for a second because it's totally insane. I mean, it's totally bat bleep loony. So Cuomo put out on the official New York website for sale, New York tough posters, smart, united, disciplined, loving. And this is the statement he put out, quote, I love history. I love poster art. Poster art is something they did in the early 1900s, late 1800s, when they had to communicate their whole platform on one piece of paper. Over the past few years, I've done my own posters that capture that feeling. I did a new one for what we went through with COVID, and I think the general shape is familiar to you. We went up the mountain, we curved the mountain, we came down the other side, and these are little telltale signs that, to me, represent what was going on. Okay, first of all, if you take this mountain and you map it directly onto the charts of what we were supposed to avoid with our COVID treatments, it maps exactly. Like literally, you could take this curve and you could actually plant it. I remember there was the very famous bend the curve, lower the curve chart, the flatten the curve chart. And the flatten the curve chart looked like one big curve that spiked up real high and then came down really quickly, but it spiked above the line. And then there was the good curve chart, and the good curve chart grew kind of slowly, and then it sort of peaked, and then it sort of receded. Well, the problem is that Andrew Cuomo's mountain looks exactly like the bad curve, like exactly like the bad curve. This is the most insane. It's the most insane poster I've ever seen in my entire life. It's totally crazy. It says on the top, wake up, America, forget the politics, get smart, Governor Andrew Cuomo. And then there's a rainbow across the top that says love wins. So apparently it's a gay rights poster or something. That's what it's reminiscent of, right? I mean, that's the love is love rainbow, right? Love wins? 35,000 people died in your state, dude. What? Okay, and then it shows on the left-hand side of the poster, it shows a plane, and it says Europeans, 3 million, January to March, COVID-19 on a plane, right? And then it shows a face. It says, winds of fear. And then there's a rope that's being pulled by New Yorkers of all types. The New Yorkers, healthcare workers, essential workers. And it's being pulled over the mountain. It says, pulling down the curve together, the power of we. Up in the sky, by the way, is hanging a weird emblazoned sun, as well as a moon, upon which is sitting President Trump, saying it's just the flu. And then there's an arrow pointing nearly straight up that says projection models. But they defeated the projection models. No, you didn't defeat the projection models. This is exactly what the models look like. Exactly what they look like. And then it just has a series of various sort of things that were done, right? It's got a picture of the daily briefing. And then it says, make hand sanitizer. Ooh, because remember they made hand sanitizer? You can memorialize the crappiest time in modern New York history with this poster. You can put it right on your wall, and you can remember each and every day how New York was just a trash heap, where the sirens were going 24 hours a day, and everybody was locked in their home. And you can celebrate along with Andrew Cuomo. All you have to do is drop a few bucks to the state of New York. I mean, this is patently insane. It's totally crazy. Like, it's wild. This is like, honest to God, it's like a Stalin poster in the middle of the Holodomor. Right? It's like, we starved Ukraine, also breadbasket of the world. Right? Like, what? Okay, so it says, make hand sanitizer. New Rochelle hotspot. There's like a picture of little fire. And then, New York pause, shutdown. Sorry, we're closed. Testing, tracing, and there's an actual nostril with a swab going up the nose. Hospital, surge and flex. Javits Center, economy falls. You can see a river going down. 111 days of hell. And then it says, New York State leads again. Okay, no, this is bad, guys. This is real bad. It didn't go well. Do you not remember that it didn't go well? Now, even the chart, what's hilarious about this is even his little timeline shows that he did a crappy job. Like, because not only does the thing peak really steeply and then start to fall because it burned through the entire city, also, it shows them masking up only at the peak. Right? That's what it says. It should mask up at the peak. And then phase 1, socially distance. After the peak. And then it says follow the data. Boyfriend cliff. I have no idea what boyfriend cliff is supposed to be. It says boyfriend cliff there. I don't know what that is. Apparently, and then there's like an actual guy hanging from a cliff. I don't understand. And then at the very end it says follow the facts. Stay smart. Caution ahead. And then Underneath it says the Sea of Division. Okay, it's just nuts. The man's a nut. I'm sorry, New Yorkers, you elected a nut, and you deserve it because you elected him. And he's got like an 80% approval rating in your unbelievably insane state. What in the actual F? This is your governor. This is your governor. Well done, everyone. It's good that you have such artistic souls as Andrew Cuomo leading you through these turbulent times. By the way, Andrew Cuomo is making a cottage industry out of just lecturing everyone. He's seriously lecturing everyone. He's lecturing DeSantis, who's responsible for a number of deaths that is, I believe, 1/9 the number of deaths that New York has seen on a case per million level, on a deaths per million level. New York is like something like 8 to 9 times as high as Florida, and you've got DeSantis being lectured by Andrew Cuomo. You got Andrew Cuomo lecturing people on how masks work. Dude, it wasn't the masks that quote unquote saved New York. What happened is that everyone died. Okay, that is the actual answer as to what happened in New York, is that it burned through your entire city. By the way, New York is now suggesting they're going to attract visitors. They're going to fine you if you don't provide your contact information when you enter the state of New York. Now, I'm old enough to remember when other states did this to New York, and Andrew Cuomo said that it was a violation of the Constitution. Remember this? Florida said, if you come in from New York, we're going to check you. And Cuomo was like, you can't do that. Privileges and immunities clause. You need to let everybody in. And now he's doing precisely the opposite to everybody else. I mean, he's just awful. He's just awful. But the media's narrative about Cuomo is that he's doing an incredible job. It's astounding to me how open and obvious the media have become in their bias. I mean, to the point where they're openly lying at this point. And they were lying before about Cuomo's performance, but now they're just clearly lying because we can all see the mountain right in front of us. He turned the mountain into a painting. He turned the mountain of death into a painting you can put on your wall. Honestly, it reminds me of nothing so much as the scene from Winnie the Pooh, where Winnie the Pooh gets his ass stuck in Rabbit's house, and Rabbit, deciding he can't do anything about the fact that Winnie the Pooh is now stuck there and wedged in and cannot get out, decides that he's going to make antlers out of Winnie the Pooh's ass. Right? He actually like paints a face on it, and he puts antlers on it, and he puts like a little mantle below it because he's going to turn what is a bad situation into a work of art. And that's Andrew Cuomo right here. He's got like a pile of dead bodies. He's like, you know what? I'm making a poster, guys, and you can hang that poster on your wall. What? This video is sponsored by Blinksale. It is the revolutionary invoicing software for small businesses. Spend less time billing, more time making the money with Blinksale. Go down to the link in our description and give it a click.